Here's an idea. Would more people around the world respect bodybuilding and bodybuilders and not think that it grows because of the size of the professionals, but if only they understood what the individuals had to go through to get that type of shape? A large amount of people think that to get to the size of competing in the Mr. Olympia, which is one of the highest competitions for bodybuilding in the world, that they just eat a large amount of food and work out. It is more complex and comes down to a very strict diet plan, the amount of dedication they need to put in year-round, the high level of intensity that they need to be present every time they go into a gym, and their time management must be extremely organized. A bodybuilder's nutrition or diet plan is most important to becoming that size. It doesn't matter how much you train or how hard it is, because without the right fuel and recovery, they will not get the results that you want. Most pros make their meals about 5 days in advance, and depends on their metabolism, but the amount of meals per day can range from about 4, maybe 5, probably about 9 meals a day. Their food is bland, and the only reason that they eat the type of foods that they do is for the right nutrients and to get their body where they want it to be. They don't eat for taste because taste doesn't help them win competitions, and that is not acceptable for these athletes after training for about 10 to 11 months out of the year. In a year, these athletes are training the same and eating the same amount of food, like I said, for about 10 to 11 months. The other month or 2 months, they are either training harder and have a stricter diet right before competition, or it's the off season and they can afford to relax. The commitment that these individuals have is unbelievable because they keep the same routine almost throughout the whole year to ensure themselves that they will get their reaction, they will reach their goal from eating the same food and working out the same amount of time. In order to be a pro, you have to be dedicated to eating a large amounts of food and the same food, and also going to the gym once, maybe twice a day for 6 days a week for 10 months out of the year. The major reaction that most people have when they see the professional bodybuilders is the look of disgust because of the size of some of the top athletes in this sport. If they really knew what they had to do to get to there, they would have acted completely different because most people think they can do what they did. But in reality, there's a small percentage of the population that can actually be bodybuilders. That small percentage of the population are actually bodybuilders because they're the only ones that have the integrity and the determination to do and reach whatever they want. The biggest factor that people don't ever see is the time management and organization of these athletes, because to make sure that they get everything done, they have to have extremely strict schedule day in and day out. These athletes get this drive because once they start training for these competitions, they will never ever think that they are big or good enough, and that is where the certain obsession for this sport comes from. People don't understand that drive because mostly they either don't care what they look like or they're fine what they look like and don't want to get better. Bodybuilders treat their body like a trophy because if they win a competition, all their hard work pays off and they can see the progression from when they started to when they ended. The major issue with the people around them is that they judge on their size and they think they are just a meathead throwing around weights to be bigger than the normal person. Bodybuilding is just like any other sport. Except for having a talent, these athletes have skills of organization and doing whatever it takes to reach their goal. They will go above and beyond to get that trophy and be in first place. So here's an idea. Don't judge someone or a sport before knowing the amount of difficulty and organization and time it takes to become a professional bodybuilder.